Alright, hello and welcome back, people. Today I bring you some more episodes of Katawa Shoujo, as I still believe it to be called. No one has yet to tell me any different, so that's what I'll keep saying. So, let's see, where did we last leave off? Yes, we were going to the library, as I recall. It's not exactly a game that I can move, so it's just me reading. But it's where we left off, as I last recall. So, let's start the reading again. Let's see how long it takes me to get going like I was last time near the end. Still feel weird reading this though, for some bizarre reason. I still do feel weird reading it. Alright, let's see. One flight of stairs and I've run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain, like the hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of others, unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it is not closed. It's not open either, just barely ajar so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense that for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means that someone inside and I can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly open the door, push the center of the door with the fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind, so much as that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if it groans from a deep sleep, though it is much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even further inside to gain sight of the room as far as possible, the meek hello on my lips is quickly snatched away. And the music starts. Da-da-dat. Oh yeah, I've noticed that when I upload these videos, that the first couple seconds of the video are all grayed out, which probably happened in this one. I don't know if it's because I'm not re-rendering them after I've recorded them, because they come out in such small videos, or it's just YouTube being screwy with me uploading small videos. So I'm gonna try rendering them and then uploading them, see if that makes any difference or not. Alright, yeah, ... This is not what I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitude figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Hello there, may I help? Can't change voice, I just read. Staring directly in front of herself, the movement of her lips seems to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's soft, measured voice that reminds me However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she is a being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid my eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strictly distant. Strikingly distinct. Strikingly distant? Hi, sorry for intruding, I was just kinda lost. Yeah, kinda lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Even every action she takes feels as if she's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpectedly considering that I am intruding upon her. Thanks? You think there'd be a question mark at the end of that one? I slowly step forward, taking another seat opposite. The girl resting the teacup and saucer on a wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track out my movements with her head is telling. That and the slight cloudiness in her eyes means she must be at least partially blind like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any undetectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yakima. Yes, I transferred in yesterday. I got the distinct feeling my speech patterns didn't match the formality of hers. Accented by her restrained bow of greeting. One which I hastened to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Satao. Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. God, that just sounds very James Bond-like, doesn't it, when people say it like that? Despite the fact that I've never really seen any James Bond movies or played any games. Curse you, chilled, for mentioning it in such a manner when I watched your video. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care to take a drink? Sure. Note the fact that I probably won't try changing my voice to match the personality of the person I'm talking. Yeah. Note that'll probably rarely happen. If anything, it'll probably happen on its own whim. As much as it pains me, I can't step from her formality in the proceedings. Keep step. As she gives a nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair. Steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along the shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often slightly touching the side of whatever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to be using her long dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students have in the class, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to be workarounds for her problems never thought of. I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of offering prepared the drink. God damn it. Still screwing up so many words, but at least I'm doing better than I did before. Well, at the beginning at least. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room are you looking for? It's not often the classroom is visited after school. The school library, Shizune and... some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring into the teacup as she nods. A small metallic tapping comes from the teacup indicating it's being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi as most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, it's the science room with Matao. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and quickly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him, most do. As she sits down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but it seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. So I don't drink either. I don't like tea, don't like coffee. I do drink a lot of Coke though. Coke. Who needs caffeine in coffee when Coke is so much better? Nevertheless, the smell is quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. I hardly think it'd be that shit. Thanks to Tao, it tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please, there's no need to be formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech, of course. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the 3rd year classes. Correct, I'm in 3-2, which is the 3rd floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi? I think it is. And is specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. I mean, shit. Ha. I feel like slapping myself with the... no idea what that is. Looking at her face though she doesn't seem to be at least a little bit put off. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure, sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for that. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from the particular topic, whatever, into another. Do you come here to drink coffee? Oh, drink tea often? It's a really nice place. Do you come here often? So funny. Thinking of it, this might be her version of a place taken behind school that I like to have at lunch. I come here fairly often during lunch breaks. My duties as class representative don't leave me much time for an official club, so a friend and I use this place for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, and her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fierce-driven, Lily seems relaxed, calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? There are more popular ones. The track and field, which uses the field near the school during lunchtimes. The baseball club and the book club are in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, those such as a part of music and art. At a time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rules as the old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good relief. Good, that's a relief.